Okay, it only took about an hour, but we figured
Yeah.
out how to use two headphones at once
Mm-hmm.
by hacking Microsoft because, God forbid, it would be simple.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out
And
to virtual audio cable.
yeah, shout out to the people that were able to figure out how to hack
Yeah.
Microsoft,
That dude in the
their,
YouTube
their
video.
hardware, so you can actually do something that makes sense. But shout out to virtual audio cable. But okay, let's first subject.
Alright.
What are you doing with Adam versus the Man? You got an internship going on with this anarcho-capitalist, social commentary, political guy, radio talk show host. You're working with a radio talk show host.
Well, I'm working on the back end with all the people running the back end. I don't have an internship or anything. They're actually looking for people, though. They're looking for a manager. Alright?
Yeah?
They're looking for a manager for the whole show. Like a production manager. If anyone has any interest in voluntarism or libertarianism or they're, just trying to get their internship done for school or whatever.
Is it a paid position?
Yes. Well, actually, it could be voluntary.
Adam versus the Man was on cable. You could go on if you had Comcast. You could see him on Russia Today.
Yes.
And he was there, and then Russia Today. They stopped being so, critical of the U.S. government. I don't know what happened in terms of foreign affairs. They had a lot of shit. They would cover a lot of the stuff that the American press wanted about, like corruption in the United States.
Yeah.
They had a lot of good shows. So you go to Russia Today. They wouldn't talk anything bad about what was going on in Russia, like Russia killing journalists. But they would tear up, like they would report on they would let libertarians on and all sorts of different perspectives, people that would attack both parties and call them out on their BS and say this is nonsense. All this corruption is going on. They would give fair reports of Occupy Wall Street. They would report on the Wall Street fraud that was going on and question why none of the executives that admittedly committed fraud were sent to prison. And they had people like I Am versus the Man on, but then I don't know what happened. Russia Today guess the chairman got a few emails, got a few phone calls. All the shows, they took off the shows that were the alternative media, and now Russia Today is more like CNN or MSNBC.
Yeah.
So what happened to Adam versus the Man? What are they now?
Right now, they're just broadcasting off of YouTube. Doing pretty well for themselves. They've got a sponsorship with Agorist Metals.
Adam versus the Man, he started off on radio. Is he on any radio channels?
Not that I'm aware of.
He was on radio before. He had radio stations.
Yeah, he was on radio in he was broadcasting out of New Mexico, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics. I'm not gonna pretend like I do, but that's where it all started out as, was a radio program, from what I understand.
Yeah.
And just became into this gradual thing where now it's a full-fledged YouTube web show production. And
Joe Rogan, he started off his podcast, and it's one of the most popular podcasts on iTunes. And because he's a movie, not a movie star, but he's in a lot of movies. He's two of the main commentary guys for the UFC. He's a stand-up comedian, and he has so many connections. Whenever he goes to a stand-up show, he plugs his podcast, and he has one of the most interesting. He has something else no one else has out there, and he's funny as hell. He's intelligent and he's interesting, and his podcast is blown up.
Yeah,
it's always either number 1 or number 2 on iTunes when you go and you look, and that's what really inspired me and got me into this. I want to do the same thing, but I want to do it when I get up to Philly. Target audience, the people at my college. I want to get on the radio station at the college. I want to do the same thing I'm doing now: interview PhDs, debate PhDs. Like I did with Dr. Anderson. I debated him for an hour and a half, and
a completely different demographic than reaching a completely different demographic than what you can really reach here.
The biggest thing is higher education is broken today. It's such a broken system, and it was talk. And I was talking to you about this before. We're using this download upload model.
Yeah.
And it's simply students are simply being indoctrinated through this download upload model. They're not learning how to look at various points of view.
Yeah.
And come to their own conclusions. Now let's wrap up that 5 minutes and see how the audio is, and then I'm gonna grab